Okay, so we'll start off this haul with the new micro drone from HGLRC. So this is called the Hornet 120. It comes in this pretty nice box, pretty nice packaging. And the drone's in this nice foam cutout. Okay, so here's everything you get in the box. Obviously you get the drone itself, you get a single Velcro strap, pretty basic there. Get some stickers. And you get a bag of screws. Some of these are spare screws, and some of these are going to be for the props. And they're including the GemFan Flash 2540s. I think you get 2 sets of these. Actually, yeah, it looks like they get 2 sets of these props. And here's a little documentation that's included. And here's just a quick look at it. Pretty nice model here. Single bottom plate here, 3mm thick. This is obviously for 2.5-inch props, 120 millimeters motor to motor, and it looks a little bit shorter in the back in terms of the width, a little wider in the front. Maybe that's to get the props out of the view a little bit. Has the F413, so it's got the F4, I think it's the V2 plus the 4-in-1 13 amp ESC, so it only goes up to 3S. And then you get the TX20 version 2, which has the, I think it's the Tramp protocol for changing your bands and channels in Betaflight. And you get the ELF camera, CCD camera here. And then they got, these are some new motors here. I think these are the 1106 6000 kV motors. I think they were previously selling the 1105 motors that were 6000 kV. And they've increased the size a little bit for this model. And you get a XD30 connector in the back here. Zip tied to the frame. Buzzer LED whip antenna here. Looks like this is plug and play, so you got a little wire here for connecting up your receiver. Very nice little model here, and yeah, I'll be doing a review on this very soon. So HGLRC also sent me the spare frame kit for the Hornet, and this is basically a complete replacement frame. And in case you break the drone anyway, you have replacement parts available, or a complete frame here. Or you could build the frame out and put custom parts in. And say if you want to go 4S, you could put a different stack in it, like the F428 instead of the 413, for example, or use different motors or whatever you want to do. So here's a frame kit if you guys want to do a custom build. Okay, so we got a few more things from Foxeer. And we got the new Micro Monster Pro and the Monster Mini Pro. These are both smaller versions of the original Monster 16:9 CMOS camera. And here's a look at the mini version. Typical mini size here with a full-size M12 lens. This one's a 1.8mm. And this is the Micro Monster. This is the one that I've actually been waiting for. This looks kind of like the same case as the Predator. Maybe a little bit smaller. And they sent along a 2.1mm M12 lens. I believe this is an alternate lens for the Mini Monster. And they got a couple of these new Foxeer antennas. I think these are going to be similar to the Axie. You can kind of see it's got that same size. Okay, so we got a few more things here from AKK. And this is the FX2. This looks like it's a 36 by 36 board. Okay, so yeah, I believe I've already reviewed this previously. It's in the 6-inch build, the 6-inch drone build I did about a week ago. But I think this is an updated version where they fixed the bug in Betaflight 3.3. So if you guys are wondering about all the AKK products that have the Betaflight bug for smart audio, I believe that all the new versions that are shipping now have corrected that problem. So the software on the video transmitter should be fixed now. Okay, so this is the FX4, another video transmitter, 26 by 26. So it's going to be a 20 by 20 board. And here's what it looks like. It's got an OSD chip on there, so maybe this is going to be good for those drones that don't have a Betaflight OSD. And it has an MMCX connector. Okay, so this is the Cicada 180. Looks like it's branded Litis RC, so it might be a company associated with AKK, but this came from AKK. This is a plug-and-play version. Looks like it comes in either a base or advanced versions. And here are the differences between the two. I believe this one's the advanced version. It's got bigger motors, additional features. Comes with a nice little user guide. It looks fairly detailed. Some spare props here. Okay, so here's the drone itself. Comes with the props already on. These are some 1407 3500 kV motors. They look like rebrands of something. No VTX antenna, no battery, and no receiver. Looks like the flight controller is probably on this PDB board here. I see that the USB port is on this board, so they're using this as structural and as also electronic. Plastic arms here and carbon on the top and a carbon plate here. Battery pad, XT30 connector, got FPV camera here. And I think this is similar looking to the Vortex 180. So there's a Vortex 150, it's a 3-inch version, and then the 180 is a 4-inch version. And this one comes in as 2 versions from Litecoin, and I think the base version has got 1306 motors instead of 1407 motors. But this does look feels fairly light. I probably put a small like 1000 or 850 milliamp hour 4S LiPo on here. Probably fly pretty well. Okay, so here's the stuff. The rest of the stuff that's in the box. You get one set of spare props. This is the VTX antenna, and you get a battery strap, and you get some tools, and it looks like you get a little connector here for the receiver. So probably gonna have to open it up to connect up a receiver. Okay, got some more stuff in here from Banggood. These are the King Kong 1406 3600 kV motors. So the motors come in this nice plastic case, and they don't come with any screws, however, so you'll need some M2 screws, it looks like. And here are some of the specs on the back of the box. Up to a 4S LiPo. Here's a quick look at the motor. Fairly notchy. These do kind of look like Sunny Sky motors. It's possible that Sunny Sky made them for King Kong. Let's see, 1406 3600 kV. Counterclockwise motor, and yeah, it is made by Sunny Sky. And here's a quick look at the bottom. Looks like pretty good gap there between the magnets and the stator. Wires are kind of short, so this probably isn't going to reach a lot of 4-in-1 ESCs. It's kind of disappointing. Gonna have to extend these wires, but also the wire coating is plastic, not silicone, so you can see you can bend the wire and it just doesn't come back, so that's also a little bit disappointing. We also got in a new flight controller stack from King Kong. This has an F4 with an OSD and also a 4-in-1 ESC 20 amps. And here's some of the specs here. I think it comes in a 12 amp version and a 20 amp version. This is the 20 amp version. And here's some of the specs, 2 to 3S. And then for the 12 amp, 2 to 4S. For the 20 amp, Betaflight, it's like an Omnibus F4 SD, so I should have an Omnibus, I should have a Betaflight OSD, which it does. And the ESCs are BLA-S, so only up to D-Shot 600. So here's a look at the 2 boards, 20 by 20 size, and you see the Betaflight OSD there. F4 flight controller, pretty nice looking parts. You also get a bag of mounting accessories. Looks like you got some rubber soft mounts here, along with some steel screws and spacers, along with the various wiring looms that you're going to need for your receivers and cameras, etc. Okay, so this is another 20 by 20 flight controller. It's an F4 flight controller from HackRC. And this comes in a 2-board setup here, 4-in-1 ESC, 20 amps, 2 to 4S, and you get a F4 flight controller with a Betaflight OSD. Both are 20 by 20. You get all the, looks like various nylon standoffs, wiring looms, and this one comes with, looks like some wire already attached to the battery leads, but no connector there, so it doesn't look like an XT30 connector is included, so you probably have to get one of those. Okay, got in the RunCam mini split, and this is the little micro camera that will record HD video, 1080p, 60 frames per second, and the boards are 20 by 20. So here's a look at the mini split here, and I'll do a separate video review on this, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so this is the new eSheen Lizard TS215, and this is a bind and fly. The box that it comes in is very nice. So it looks like they give you 2 sets of these Cyclone T5046 props, very nice props. Get a bunch of zip ties, and you get a battery pad for the bottom. This is the FPV antenna. You get a carbon fiber machine gun for some reason. That's weird. Get a couple of carbon fiber wrenches for mounting your prop nuts, and you get some foam pads here. These are usually for top-mounted battery drones, so I'm not sure why they're including these. Get some spare M3 screws. You get a couple of Eachine branded battery straps. And this looks like a little carbon plate for the bottom-mounted battery for protection. Don't usually use these, just adds more weight, but there's some foam pieces here for that. And little rubber silicone grip pads to make sure the battery doesn't slide out. And you also get some prop nuts. So here's the drone itself. Very nice looking. It looks like this carbon fiber is painted. Got some very nice motors here. It looks like these are 2306 2450 kV, some pretty big beefy motors, very smooth. You got a hollow shaft and you got a set screw on the bottom. Looks like the arms are removable or replaceable, but this kind of look like the floss, but the arms are wider. So these have ESCs on the arms, and you got 40 amp BLHeli32 ESCs, pretty nice. Got ECs connected to the PDB here. This PDB is part of the structure that sandwiches the arms between the bottom plate and this PDB. And I think this PDB is also part of the flight controller as well. Got a DVR here for recording your FPV video, and you have a, looks like a video transmitter. I heard that's got smart audio, so it's power switchable as well. And this one is the bind and fly, so it has a little XM Plus receiver here, and they've already got your antennas heat shrunk to the top plate, so that's pretty nice. You got a camera here. I heard this one is a CCD camera, but it looks like it's got a narrow field of view for the lens. But yeah, I'll do a full video review on this one pretty soon. It looks like it's a pretty nice drone. Okay, I got some motors in from GIP RC. These are the 1106 6000 kV. Yep, and then these are the gunmetal colored ones. I think these are the same ones that are on the Hummingbird. Actually, the Hummingbird that was ready to fly, that came already pre-built. So it's got, these are the same motors. So I'll be doing a build on this eventually at some point, using these motors on probably a 2.5 inch build. Okay, so this is the Transtech Frog, and it's another 5-inch racing drone. This one comes plug and play, so no receiver. So this one comes with Gemfan Wind Dancer 5042 tri-bladed props. And it looks like you got a battery strap here, a prop nut wrench, some zip ties, and some heat shrink. And here's the drone itself. You got removable arms. It's pretty low stack here. Looks like you got 4-in-1 ESC, and then this is probably a flight controller video transmitter combo. Plenty of space here. Got some LEDs in the back. You got an XD60 connector. On the front here, you got a, looks like a RunCam Mini Swift. Pretty nice camera. The motors have no labeling on them, so I don't know what kind of kV or size they are, but they do feel very smooth. So I'll have a full video review on this coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. This looks like a pretty nice drone.